Welcome to the Explainer. So if you're feeling that constant hustle of modern life, the stiffness from just sitting at a desk all day, or maybe a general sense of being completely out of balance, you are absolutely in the right place. Look, we've all tried those trendy quick fixes, right? The 10-step skincare routines, the overpriced jade rollers. But today, we're doing something a bit different. We are demystifying a truly profound, ancient practice and bringing it right into the context of modern Australian living. We're diving deep into the traditional art of Abhyanga Ayurvedic Massage. And specifically, we're going to look at how this classical wisdom is actually being applied today at the Pure Herbal Ayurved Clinic right here in Melbourne. We're going to break down the terminology, dig into the real science behind the treatment, and figure out exactly why this is absolutely not your standard spa day. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, demystifying Abhyanga. Then, we'll look at Ayurveda versus regular massage, followed by how they prepare your personalized oil, the step-by-step experience, and finally, the benefits and modern application. Section 1. Demystifying Abhyanga. Understanding traditional Ayurvedic massage. We all know modern life brings its fair share of stress, physical stiffness, and just mental fatigue. But instead of just pushing through it or grabbing another generic quick fix, this ancient therapy actually offers a highly tailored solution that treats your body in a much more holistic way. Which really begs the fundamental question, what exactly is Abhyanga? Now, if you've never heard the term before, sure, it might sound a bit intimidating, but the core concept is actually beautifully simple and it's deeply rooted in a rich historical tradition of holistic health. The Sanskrit word Abhyanga literally refers to the traditional Ayurvedic practice of applying oil to the body through massage. In classical Ayurveda, this oil application is known as Snehana, or oleation. Now, I just want you to imagine this for a second. Warm, herbal, or medicated oils being applied using these continuous, flowing, highly rhythmic strokes. We're not going to get bogged down in esoteric philosophy here. This is a profoundly sensory experience. It's meant to be a crucial part of daily self-care, which is known as dinacharya, as well as being the absolute cornerstone of specific, targeted therapeutic programs. Moving on to Section 2, Ayurveda versus regular massage, why it's about a whole lot more than just pressure. Think about the last time you visited a typical day spa or a sports physio. The focus is almost always on heavy, sometimes downright aggressive muscle manipulation, right? And usually it's applied with a completely generic one-size-fits-all lotion or oil. The primary goal is just working out those physical knots. But Ayurvedic massage is a whole different ballgame. It utilizes rhythmic, flowing strokes. It actually doesn't usually rely on heavy pressure at all. But here's the real game changer. The entire treatment, from the physical technique to the specific warm herbal oils they use, is highly personalized. It's carefully chosen based on your natural constitution, which in Ayurveda is known as your Prakriti. So it's an experience entirely guided by deep Ayurvedic principles, not just sheer physical pressure. Which brings us to Section 3, preparing your personalized oil, the science of assessment. So how do they actually figure out what you need? Well, before a single drop of oil is even chosen, the assessment process covers a truly vast array of factors. And it is honestly fascinating. It goes way beyond just asking, hey, where does it hurt? Physically, they're looking at your age, your skin condition, any musculoskeletal concerns you might have, and your current dosha pattern. That includes evaluating your natural balance of vata, pitta, and kapha, as well as your current state of imbalance, which is known as vikriti. But surprisingly, they also weigh your lifestyle factors incredibly heavily. Like, what is the current season and climate outside right now? How well are you sleeping? What are your stress levels and digestive health actually like? And in some cases, this in-person assessment even involves traditional Ayurvedic pulse observation to really get a deep, comprehensive understanding of your current state. So, the absolutely crucial takeaway here is this. Pure Herbal Ayurveda Clinic literally never approaches Abhyanga as a generic one-oil treatment. Because of this incredibly detailed assessment process, 2 different clients could walk into the Melbourne clinic on the exact same afternoon and receive completely different herbal or sesame-based oils. They might even get slightly different massage techniques. It is entirely bespoke to exactly what your mind and body require in that very specific moment. Up next, Section 4, the step-by-step experience, your clinical journey. Now that we really understand the deep level of customization involved here, let's walk through the exact progression you'd experience when you arrive for a session. First up, you undergo that brief but super thorough Ayurvedic assessment we just talked about, where they review your history, any contraindications, and potentially check your pulse. Step 2 is the meticulous selection of your specific herbal oil, which is then carefully warmed. And trust me, this warming part is absolutely vital to the whole experience. Step 3 is the main event, the full-body rhythmic massage. This is where that warm oil is applied with consistent flowing strokes over your arms, legs, back, neck, abdomen, feet, and even the head and scalp if it's appropriate for you. And finally, depending on your initial assessment, the treatment might actually be followed by Snehana. That's a traditional Ayurvedic herbal steam therapy, and it's used to further lock in and support the treatment's overall goals. Now, during that massage, you might also experience this really interesting concept, working with Marma points. In Ayurveda, Marma points are viewed as incredibly important anatomical and energetic locations throughout your entire body. But again, sticking with our major theme of personalization here, the practitioner actually adapts the treatment to focus on relevant Marma areas using gentle pressure or specific oil application based on exactly what you need. They don't just apply identical Marma techniques to every single client like some standardized routine. It's all about you. Moving on to our final section, Section 5. Benefits and modern application. Ancient wisdom for today. So we've got the ancient theory and we've got the clinical steps. But how does this actually translate to tangible, everyday benefits for you? Well, the wide-ranging benefits of this practice explain exactly why it has stuck around for thousands of years. The slow, rhythmic nature of that warm oil application in a quiet space deeply supports relaxation, rest, and a really profound sense of physical calm. Plus, it provides incredibly deep skin moisturization and softness. It eases muscular tension and stiffness, but it does it without the pain of a deep tissue sports massage. And crucially, it's highly effective for balancing Vata-predominant patterns. What does that mean? Well, if you're experiencing dry skin, if you're always feeling cold, dealing with restlessness and irregular routine, or just having a really hard time relaxing, this warm oil application is specifically tailored to counter those exact feelings. Furthermore, for those looking to go even deeper, Abhyanga is commonly used as a vital prep step for a full Panchakarma program, which is a much broader Ayurvedic treatment plan. And honestly, the most fascinating part is that this isn't some inaccessible practice halfway across the world. You can experience this highly individualized therapy right here in Melbourne at places like the Pure Herbal Ayurved Clinic, which has locations in Richmond and Wantirna South. You are dealing directly with BAMS qualified Ayurvedic practitioners who trained in India and bring over 20 years of classical clinical experience straight to their local community. They are applying genuine, traditional techniques tailored entirely to your individual needs. And this brilliantly illustrates their entire ethos of bridging these two worlds. Their motto is, classical Ayurveda, modern Australian lifestyle. They aren't asking you to abandon your modern life, right? Instead, they're using practitioner-led treatment planning to adapt literally thousands of years of classical Ayurvedic wisdom to directly support the unique stresses, climates, and realities of modern Australia. So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I really want to leave you with this question to ponder. What specific blend of warm herbal oils does your body secretly need to find its balance today? Remember, it is definitely not a one-size-fits-all world. And honestly, your self-care shouldn't be either. Understanding your own natural constitution could absolutely be the key to unlocking a whole new level of relaxation and well-being. Thanks so much for joining me to explore the ancient art of Abhyanga, and I highly encourage you to look into an Ayurvedic assessment for yourself to discover exactly what your body is asking for.